I'm so sorry. I've never seen it either. Yeah, that was weird, right? Opera scene again. Is this file correct? Yeah, I don't think you can use the burst and have attack all or whatever. There's like something that it overwrites that makes it not work as well. Tell you one thing though, my hand mashing is already starting to hurt. It's not good. Oh damn. I'm gonna go use the bathroom during the opera scene, and I'm going to go use the bathroom during the opera scene, and I'm going to get my phone charger. Yeah, that's right. It replaces random. That's right. I don't have random though. I have target all, so I imagine that it would replace that. They're all in that same family. Yeah, that's what I figured. Only makes sense. Could you imagine? Oh fuck. Forgot to equip the armor. Whatever. Barring any huge screw-ups, should be just the exact same as we were earlier. Let me get my phone charger and use the old loo, you know what I'm saying. Fuck, I don't know what's what. Oh, that would be my computer shut. Yeah, that's important. This goes to... Oh, okay. So this... Cool. There we go. Yeah, so that's actually one thing that a lot of people don't realize, and something that every time I watch people play casually, how big of a difference the lack of targeting is with random. The damage numbers aside, it being better and all that stuff, that completely aside, the amount of time it saves in being like for instance, there's a fight right before Shiva. There's a spider and there's the wolf man or whatever, the rat man. I don't know what it's called, but the spider where it'll take 3 shots or 4 shots. Let's say 4 shots. So you pump all 3 into the spider. Well, then you have to think, did I do enough damage so that I can use one of my next 3 bullets on that to kill him, and then 2 to start so that I don't waste damage. Like all of that, like it completely cuts it out. You just say, hope it hits something good, and that's how you play the game. RNGesus take the wheel. Precisely. I'm sure that, like, if you did enough runs without random targeting and stuff like that, you would, you know, obviously get a feel for things, but... in any case... that load felt bad. Back to mashing. New Game Plus is the only way I can 121. Nah, fam, everybody can do it. It's not that hard. I mean, and it's not easy. But it's not impossible. I think, like, even a new person, regardless of your skill level, I think you can get it because it's just all timing. Timing and memorization. You know, I say that, but I can hardly ever do it. But not because it's difficult. Just because it's like, you know, sometimes it's just not up to you. Most of my runs don't even fucking make it that far. How do you guys feel about Vienna sausages? Because personally, I love Vienna sausages. I could eat a whole mess load of those bad boys in one sitting, no doubt. But my roommate has made me to feel very bad about Vienna sausages. Nasty. See, I guess that's the general consensus. Do they come in like different flavors, dude? The hot ones? Yo, bro, load me up with 300 of those bad boys. I'll just be killing wieners like it's my job, dog. Hot ones are good. The buffalo ones are good. The smoked ones are good. Honestly, the worst ones are the regular, and I fuck with those too. If they were to... Is that an actual job? I don't know. That would be sick, though. That would be sick! Yeah, they go hard, man. I like Spam a lot, too. Fuck with Spam, corned beef hash, all the canned meats. I go hard on. Pizza rolls, Hot Pockets, 28-cent burritos. Like, man, my diet is literal garbage. But occasionally, I do drink a glass of water, so we're good, you know? Breaks even. I didn't go far enough. Oh yeah, I eat so much Chuck E. Cheese pizza, dude. It's bad. I've actually started to cut back. Now I eat boneless wings with no sauce, and then I dice it up and put it in a salad. It's like a ghetto chicken salad. But like, I can eat a piece of Chuck E. Cheese pizza and then look down at the plate it was on, and it's just like a pool of butter and grease. And I'm like, God, dude, that's in my body right now as I drink my 9th cup of coffee. Yeah, exactly. See, I'm the same way. People are like, did you know that Spam and ramen and pickle juice and all these things, soy sauce, all these things that are like super high sodium and bad for you? And I'm like, that's cool. You know, they taste great, and that's kind of where I'm at in life. I still have the luxury of being like, taste is what matters in my food, based on my body weight and my age and everything. And so, you know, eventually I think I'll get to that point where I'm like, it tastes good, but I just can't afford to eat it right now. How do I look so good at eating? Ooh, thank you, sir. I don't know. I don't drink. I think that has a lot to do with it. My metabolism is super fast. The one-shot Eve fight. Yeah, it is neat, huh? But yeah, I don't drink, so I think that has a lot to do with my my keeping weight off. It at least doesn't contribute to weight gain. I couldn't gain weight if I tried, man. I went on this P90X binge for almost a year, like 9 months straight, every day. Protein powders, amino acids, like everything, man. And I couldn't break 140 pounds. Like, I could not. I got to like 139, and then when I'd wake up in the morning, I would be back down to like 137. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? Just doesn't work like that. I don't know what it is. And then I have all these like women similar age that I'm friends with or whatever, and they're like, oh my god, like, I ate a single fry today at McDonald's, and it's like my whole week's diet is just ruined. I'm gonna balloon up like an elephant. And I'm like, dude, I will trade you right now. I'll take 30 of your pounds. Yeah, it's crazy. My metabolism is so whack that like when I go to bed, I wake up like I lost like all that day's progress. And my friend is a personal trainer, and he was kind of helping me. And he was like, dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. What a lot of people have to do in that situation is wake up every few hours in the middle of the night and eat something. I was like, dude, fuck that. That's not only is like trying to get in really good shape quite expensive with the, you know, the acids and powders and whatnot, supplements and things. But like all the food as well. Like the amount of food I was eating, I was like, dude, I can't keep up with this, man. Not only is it ruining my day because I have to force myself to eat shit just to gain weight, but it's also like, you know, mad expensive. You don't need all that shit. Agreed. And that's exactly what he said. But he's like, diet is 70% of it. And I'm like, well, how about I just shoot for that 30%, right? How about I stay in that range? Where I exercise. But like, because I'm so skinny, my metabolism is so fast, dude. I like leaned out and was like really cut like in like the first month. I had skinny person abs, you know, where it's just like your skin just pulls tighter than normal. And it looks like you have abs even though you did very little work to achieve them. That's where I was at. And I was about it for a minute. And then, I don't know what happened actually. I just was like, fuck this. I stopped working out one day a week, and then it was like 2 days a week. Things like that. And then I just kind of slipped out of it. Got a little lazy. Getting jacked is expensive though. I into working out 6 years ago and eating 3K calories a day. See, I was eating way more than that, dude. I was eating way more than 3,000 calories a day. Because that's what he said as well. He's diabetic, right? And he's a personal trainer by profession. So he has like all these different like sugarless diets and things like that he's pushing on. I was up to like easily 5,000 plus a day, easy. And I could not gain weight. And I was like, I'm going to eat this whole bag of powdered donuts. And he's like, dude, no, that achieves the opposite effect. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I think it's just... My metabolism is so fast. It's crazy. Everybody always tells me, they're like, be thankful now because when you're, X age, you're going to regret it. It's going to catch up with you. And I'm like, all right, Susan, I'm fucking 25. When am I going to start looking like a 14-year-old boy? 14-year-old girl, even. Jesus. And then I run into the issue where it's like, if I grow facial hair, it grows in the color of my eyebrows and the color of my hair. So it's black and blonde. So it like grows in calico, and from a distance it just looks like patchy because the blonde is hard to see. So I just look like a freak. And that's one thing, no joke, I never poop. Like maybe once every 2 days. I'm like a once every other day kind of guy. Yeah, somebody posted the other day on Facebook, and it was like a really skinny high school kids, like, like those kids that are like super stick thin, and they take their shirt off and they're like flexing. They're like, yeah, baby, yeah, whatever. Somebody posted a picture of that and was like, girls, you letting men that look like this break your heart? And I was like, god damn, that's me, dog. That is me. That feels bad. No, actually, I have a really low resting heart rate. Cause even in rehab, they would always be like, your heart rate's pretty low right now. I'm like, it's always like that. Like in the 60s. My blood pressure is really low comparatively as well, as opposed to what's normal. I don't know. If I give blood, like, no joke, if they take blood, instant blackout. Instantly pass out. It's not that I'm afraid of blood or anything. It's just as soon as it gets pulled out of me, instantly pale, just hit the floor. Covered in sweat, wake up. And the doctors are always like, wow, you really passed out? I'm like, I fucking told you I would, dude. You guys just thought I was joking with you. This is for real. Let me lay down before you do this so that I'm already in the laying down position. Somebody was like, that's a disorder called, hemoglobia phobia. And I was like, I don't care, dude. I don't care what it's called. It happens. It's a real thing. And my mom's always like, yeah, it is a disorder called being a little bitch. I'm like, thanks, Mom. This is why I never get flu shots anymore. I'm probably going to die at a young age. I got a concussion peeing into a cup after having blood drawn once. Yeah, dude, getting blood drawn fucks me up bad. I went and got an HIV test, or like the full spectrum STD test, because they were offering them for free for anybody who was in the treatment that I was in. And I was like, bet money. So I went, and I was like, not gonna lie, you guys are gonna have to lay me down. And I had this really cute, like, it was obviously like a nurse tech or something like that, assistant. And I was like, I'm gonna lay down. And she's like, okay, don't worry, like, I've been getting better at this, blah, blah, blah. Everybody always says that. Oh, I'm really good at this. Don't worry, I'm really good at this. Like, I don't care how good you are. I'm really good at a few things too. It doesn't mean that RNG don't shaft you. But this woman could not hit my vein, even though I was, well, to be fair, I was coming off of drugs, right? So my veins were a little bit spotty to begin with. But she just kept stabbing me, and like before she even got blood drawn, I was like, but I didn't have an STD at the time. Just kidding. I get tested all the time. Because it's free. Sometimes I'm just bored. I'm like, what are we going to do today? It's like, I guess we can go grocery shopping. I can go get my oil changed and get an STD test. That'll eat up 30 minutes. I like how Baker picks up the phone and it's just still there. He yells into his clenched fist for a bit. Oh, dude, really? Yeah, and it was obvious. I have, like, keep in mind that all my veins were collapsed at the time, so it wasn't necessarily super easy to do. But yeah, she just shank, to the point where she was almost like, we're gonna have to probably do it somewhere else. And then eventually blood started coming out, and I'm like, passed out. And then all my rehab buddies that rode in the druggy buggy with me are sitting there waiting for me to wake up so we can go back to the treatment center. And they're like, dude, you passed out. And I was like, yeah, I know, man. Clearly, I passed out. You see, I have super visible veins too, but they collapse pretty quickly after some, depending on the drugs that you're into at the time. Really? You only get 2 shots? Jeez. Yeah, I was at a cool 16 shots, I imagine. And for babies, like, my kid went and got her blood drawn, and I had her mom sitting there with her. I was like, I can't do it. I'll pass out. And they stabbed her, like, a bunch of times. And I guess, like, kids' veins are harder to hit or things like that. And I was like, she was like, dude, it was bad. You would have definitely passed out. I was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I was for opiates and opiates and MDMA are what I was. Opiates and MDMA are what I was treated for, as far as what do you call it? Oh my god, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. Like, that was what they treated me for when I was kicking and basically coming down. What do they call that? Detoxing. That's what my detox qualifications were. Opiates were always I never actually drank very much. I was not a big drinker. Rolling, indeed. Yeah, I was doing like, I was taking probably 2 or 3 exos a day in high school. I would go to class, rolling face. And Dylan, actually, Nightness, my roommate, we had PE like second period, and I would always take one at the beginning of the day, and then at lunch when it wore off, we'd take another one. But you can't really, it doesn't really work that way, right? Like, after you drain so much dopamine or serotonin or whatever you want to, you know, regardless, you take it to no effect. But I remember, like, I would roll into PE and see Dylan and be like, dude, my pupils would be like the size of the moon, and I'd be like just jamming old school hard trance music in my earphones, and I'd be like, dude, I'm fucking rolling right now. I'm gonna hide behind the bleachers and just roll face. And he would be like, all right. Opiates have always been my issue as well. Yeah, opiates were definitely my starting place and my ending place for sure. For sure. And congratulations, by the way, man. That is, it's amazing. First year is definitely the hardest. Everybody says that, I know, but it really is truth. Yeah, that's what people say, that it like destroys your pleasure center pathways and like rewires synapses and stuff like that. And the classic like ecstasy puts holes in your brain, but it's actually just like areas where there's no more serotonin and dopamine, which kind of leaves your brain to have like dark circles on it in a CT scan. But a lot of that stuff is like irreparable. You know, fortunately, I don't have any noticeable long-term damage. Although some of the women I've dated and my mom would probably say otherwise. Oh, they definitely do not put tourniquets on us to take blood. Definitely not. It's not very, it's not, I mean, off the top of my head, I can't think of any times that I've given blood where they put tourniquet on me. Yeah, that's pretty much how it works, dude. Yeah, they're always like, all right, we're going to take a little bit of blood. And immediately I go, oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. And I start panicking. And they're like, it's okay. I'm really good at it. And I'm like, that's what they always say. I need to lay down. I'll pass out. And they're like, you're 25 years old. Come on, man. It's not that bad. And I'm like, no, for real. You guys are going to have a lawsuit on your hands. Let me lay down. And then just stabby McStab stab. And then I pass out. So I couldn't even tell you how the rest of it goes. But I have O negative blood, right? And so does my mom. So the Red Cross always be bothering me about donating blood. Like, they'll call and be like, please, you know, we're in your area. Could you please come out? And I'm like, dude, I couldn't if I wanted to. My iron is guaranteed too low. And, like, I'll pass out. So I can't do it. But my mom does it all the fucking time. She actually gets really upset when she goes and they're like, sorry, you've given blood too recently, or sorry, your iron's too low. Like, it'll bring her to tears, bro. Like, she's just kind of person she is, but I'm like, fuck no. But apparently O negative blood, I guess it can only go to O negative. Or I think it's O negative can only receive O negative, but it can go to everybody. So when you don't know what kind of blood type your patient has, you give them O negative until you figure it out. But if they have O negative, then you're drawing off a much smaller supply because it's, you know, more rare to begin with, and they can only accept O negative themselves. I think that's the methodology. I panic hardcore after a concussion. Yeah, O negative can go to everyone, but can only receive O negative, I believe. Oh, that's lame. Should have waited a little bit longer. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's why a lot of doctors, like, if there's a gunshot wound victim and they're unconscious and you don't know their blood type and they need blood, you give them O negative. You give them O negative until you figure out their blood type. And then you give them their actual blood. That way you don't just run yourself out of O negative. O positive, though. Is there O positive? Is that a thing? Because I'm pretty sure it doesn't work the same way as O negative. I think there's a difference. How long does it take to type blood? Oh, I don't know. Especially if they're bleeding out, you know, right? It's like, oh, look, I got some right here. I guess it depends on the severity of the case, right? Like if somebody's like borderline lost, you know, you got other things that are more important than like somebody goes and types it, but in the meantime, like you can't afford to wait. I think that's like the that was kind of what they explained to me at the Red Cross and my mom, and that's why my mom was like, you need to donate blood. If you can do it, you have to. Oh, okay, that's how it works. And I'm like, oh, fuck no, Mom. Not to mention I'm mad iron deficient. But let me ask you this. So I understand how it works as far as the universal receiver and donors. But, so say I'm O negative, and I give it to somebody until they figure out their blood type. And is there any benefit or loss from, like, sure, O negative is universal to receive, but I'm AB, or I'm A negative or something. Like, is there any difference in receiving O negative and then your actual blood type? Like, is there any gains or anything like that? Like, obviously you don't want to just drain yourself of all the universal blood, so you put them on what they're intended to have to begin with. But is there any, like, noticeable difference? No? Okay. Sorry, I was struggling to figure out a way to word that. Yeah, see, I wouldn't mind donating, but I just can't. You know, in a perfect world, I would do so. But not to mention, I don't know if a lot of people like looking at my history. Like, if they look at my medical history, you're probably gonna be like, "Ooh, no, thank you." Interesting scene. Yeah, it is one of the more barbaric scenes in the game. Everybody just melts into goo. Availability, yeah. See, I figured that was the biggest factor. Which is probably why they always bother us to donate. Being O negative means your blood is... Oh, okay. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I can understand that. But let me ask you this then. Not even exchanging blood types, like, are there any noticeable, like, people with O negative blood usually suffer from this sickness or illness or disease more frequently than other blood types because of the lack of antibodies or whatever? Like, is there any, you know, correlations between stuff like that as a result of just differing blood types? People with O negative blood are more likely to get mad cow disease. You know, obviously a bad example, but okay. But as far as, like, you know, they're more disposed to diabetes or whatever. It's not the case. Interesting. What a biology lesson we're having here while we play Parasite Eve. One of the most biologically incorrect video games there is. Hey, Crazy, thank you so much for everything again, man. Hopefully I can have something to show you. We'll see. No, I mean, like, not even like talking about donations or receiving or anything like that. Just talking about in general. Like, this baby was born with this blood type, which means that when he's 35, he'll be more genetically predisposed to, you know, liver disease than people with a whatever blood type. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. But it can also, I don't know if you guys know this, call other mitochondria. And mitochondria, in and of itself, can take form. That's what's crazy, right? It's like there's no nucleus. You've skipped all the other parts of the cell. I know, trust me. I made that little macaroni diagram in 5th grade. Ooh, woo. That was actually fire. Yeah, we one-shot everything in the game on the New Game Plus file. This category, that's the way it works. That is pretty crazy. Mitochondria, man. Who would have thought? And I wonder, so somebody tell me if they know, or look it up if they don't mind. The author of the Parasite Eve novel, did that author have some kind of background in medicine? Because I wonder, where does an idea for that stem from? If you're not, semi well versed in, medicine as a whole to begin with, Are you free to meet up with other Dallas speed nerds next weekend for dinner or whatever? What? Yeah, fucking duh. I'm gonna say totes. Damn it. Has anybody else noticed that Discord's autocorrect is way different than your phone's standard autocorrect? Oh, holy shit. Yeah, that's serious. That's not just a background. That's a serious background. Oh, wait. Not like in 2 days. Right? Question mark? Oh yeah, dude. Babes is one of the best restaurants in the world. Okay, perfect. Because this weekend I have a marathon. Damn, that's crazy. That's a serious background. A pharmacologist, man. That's serious. PhD. Lectures on microbiology. So yeah, he was well versed. God damn it, JT. No, please do tell me, regardless of what my credentials are. Let's make the show about your DMT trips, Joe Rogan. So JT here is memeing on me because I was ranting about how I don't like Joe Rogan, because it doesn't matter what his podcast is about, it's about DMT, regardless of who's on it or what the topic of discussion might be. Looking forward to it. So I just got asked out on a date by Ghoul02 and apparently some other DFW-based speed nerds. Next Saturday, we're going to go eat lunch or dinner at a fried chicken place. Now, I actually don't eat fried chicken, but I won't tell them that till I get there. Babes has like the greatest sides, cream corn, mashed potatoes, rolls, and all that stuff. It's a really weird restaurant. You go in, they don't give you any menus, you just get what they make, which is sides, salad, and their famous fried chicken. So you just sit there and you're like, feed me. and then they bring out just fucking like feeding trough amounts of food, and you just, it's like the most American thing ever. But yeah, I don't eat fried chicken. And people are probably like, oh my god, is it because you respect chickens or something like that? No, it's not. I have a weird thing about grease. Like, grease gives me really, really bad panic, like anxiety, like panic level anxiety. So I eat anything that's greasy with a fork and a spoon, or fork and a knife, and things that you can't really work a fork and a knife with, like fried chicken, I just refrain from. It's weird. That's one of my two things, right? I have two really weird quirks like that. The grease one is a big one, and my roommates will vouch for it, how severe and bad it is. It's serious. But my other one is toilets, right? Like, I cannot flush a toilet unless the lid is entirely closed. Like, all the lids. Now, if I'm in a stall that doesn't have, like, a top lid, sorry, it's not getting flushed. I was struggling to understand what you meant there, but I'm glad you clarified. Yeah, and the reasoning for my toilet thing is when I was really little, I read this medical paper in one of my science classes that says when you flush a toilet, the smell and things that you smell, or that, like, there was an actual percentage. It says, like, there's a certain percentage of fecal and urine particles that get into your eyes, ears, nose, mouth, hair, all over you, basically. So flush the toilet with the lid entirely closed to prevent that the best you can. And ever since that day, man. But a lot of people, like, you'll know for a fact if I use the restroom last because the toilet seat will be entirely closed. So I've never had the issue where it's like, oh, he won't put the seat down. Like, you better believe that seat's down, as well as the lid. So hopefully you don't, hopefully you realize that before you take a seat, lady. Those are my two things, man. I'm super weird about them. Yeah, I mean, I do know that. And when I try to distance myself if I smell something like that immediately. I'm not as bad about that. Like, I kind of understand there's not a whole lot you can do. And I think that the toilet seat thing has become more habit than anything. But the grease thing is like it's serious. I mean, that's what worked for me, man. It's scarred me for life. My ex-wife, she used to come to me and be like, the toilet wasn't flush, and I was like, all right, somebody else. She's like, the seat was all the way down, and the lid was closed. And I was like, all right, that's my bad then. Dead giveaway. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I actually keep my toothbrush, like in a drawer. I don't keep anything on my sink. Not my hairbrush. Not my toothbrush, not my razors, not anything. Except for my soap and the faucet. That's it. And, like, sometimes a hand towel for, like, drying your hands off. But yeah, that shit gets everywhere. Yeah, see, Grill Master, you get it. You get it. Oh, still mashing, dude. My hand hurts. My toilet isn't in the same room as my bathroom. Yo, that's so European of you. Alright, let's see if we can do this a little bit better, shall we? So we do have to go to the gun shop, which means that I'll go to the gun shop first, because it puts you in a way better angle when you're leaving the pharmacy to get into the car. Make sure to double Chinatown for good luck, right? You know what's crazy is that run was so good that I don't know if I'm ever going to even have the energy or the desire to try to make it a lot better or to clean up those mistakes. So forever, fucking Chinatown will haunt me. And it'll always be there until somebody beats it. It's not going to be me. Nobody mentions that I also went to Carnegie Hall at the very beginning of the game. So, but Chinatown just has a better meme ring to it. Man, that movement was so good between those two screens. That was super good. That was a flawless movement. Didn't happen a whole lot. Felt good. New Game Plus Club Percent. I was gonna do Club Percent without New Game Plus, but New Game Plus probably would be more realistic. Definitely a lot easier. Forget it, bummer. It's Chinatown. What is it? The fucking Catalina wine mixer. So I'm almost a minute ahead. I'm about 49 seconds ahead, it looks like. That's good. If you've never seen the film Chinatown, I've not actually. I've not seen the film Chinatown. I've also never seen, what's that really, like, parody Kung Fu movie? I think it's called Kung Fu, isn't it? People always give me shit. They're like, how can you have not seen Kung Fu? I'm like, I don't know, I just never got around to it. Isn't that what it's called? Kung Fu? Something like that. Kung Fury, that's it. Kung Fury, yeah. I've watched like clips of it and I'm like, this is dumb as shit. It's like the same people who in like high school were like, you haven't seen Monty Python's The Holy Grail? You're literally a flawed human being. And then I watched it and was like, I mean, yeah, it's funny. But I don't feel like, you know, I should have been chastised and burned at the stake for it. It's not that funny. Oh, really? It's a Polanski movie, huh? Well, that means I'll definitely have to check it out. You know, I like Monty Python, like, as far as, like, what they did for comedy and everything, and I can appreciate, you know, how clever they are. But, like, that movie had, like, such a cult following, at least it seemed to me in high school. Like, people were memeing that shit so hard, bro. Like, it was like, this is the funniest thing ever, and if you haven't seen it, you know, you deserve to die. And then I went and watched it, and I was like, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's got funny points. But I don't think it is what you guys have made it into, I'm afraid. Step Brothers, yeah, Tense, that's another good example. Ron Burgundy, what is that, Anchorman? That was a quite big meme quote movie for people. And I was like, yeah, guys, we get it. It's a funny movie. What do kids quote now? Fortnite? It's my interactions with anime fans almost exactly. Yeah, anime is one of those things, right? And I've come to realize that Like, before people ask me, like, what kind of animes I watch, or, like, to give them suggestions and what have you, I make it very clear to them. I make it very clear to them that I like the style of this style of anime that I watch. Because I don't want them, you know, losing their shit when they watch it and they don't like it, because it's a very subjective style of genre. John Fortnite Kennedy. Hell yeah. Oh god. Every time I see a YouTube link, I fear a little bit. Oh, hell yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Keep jamming the jam. What type do I watch? I'm really into cyberpunk. I'm really into like police, detective, and I'm really into like mystery. So usually those all come together pretty well. Like in a similarities, things like Psychopaths, Ergo Proxy, Monster, Darker Than Black to a degree. Death Note, I didn't mind. Code Geass, I liked a lot. It's like my favorite. So all those types. Psychopaths, exactly. Oh, my chat, you know, I gotta remember that chat is behind him. Like, I just said I saw Monster, bro. It goes so hard. Yeah, all those. Yeah, exactly. See, you guys know. You guys know. But, oh, like, one of my favorites, like, Erased, obviously, was amazing. I loved it. Any mystery, Bungo Stray Dogs, I was a big fan of. But one of my favorites is called Ungo, and it's relatively, like, you know, in comparison to like a lot of pop culture anime, Ungo is relatively underrated and obscure. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, Ungo, I loved it. Loved Ungo, it's amazing, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, okay, and they go watch it, and they're like, that was just weird. Or Ergo Proxy is another one. They're like, that was just weird. It wasn't even that good. And I'm like, alright, fuck you then. Shiki? No, I don't think I've seen what you just said. I appreciate that, Gatsby. You know what? We actually should listen to this just to bring us luck for a minute.
Tiptoeing in one's Jordans. What on earth is all this riffraff about?
Yeah, Ergo Proxy is fucking awesome. What's the one that the guy who died made that made Paprika and everything? Paranoia Agent, liked a lot. That was a viewer suggestion. The run has been blessed with tiptoeing, so you already know it's guaranteed world record.
Yo. Yo. Tiptoeing in my Jordan. Tiptoeing in my Jordan. Just got the boy.
We can stop it now.
You motherfuckers boring. You sleeping on me.
It does. It does. It's a run blesser. No doubt. Ergo Proxy was fire. I loved it. Ungo, I love. Monster, I love. Code Geass is my number one, though. I don't know why, but I just... When I finished Code Geass, I felt like a piece of me was dead inside because I'd never get to experience watching that show again. Or, like, any more content for the show. Yeah, that guy's a fucking legend, bro. An absolute legend. Ripperonis to, what is it, pancreatic cancer or whatever. Everything that guy made was like, just, you know, unheard of, hella interesting. Like, the concepts and the execution and the animation and all that stuff, just super unique. People say that about the Devilman Crybaby ping pong guy these days as well, though. But Paprika, Perfect Blue, Paranoia Agent, those are just a different level. The guy who created, no, not Riff Raff. We're not that lucky. The guy who created Paranoia Agent and, fuck. And, usually we level up in that fight, I think. Maybe not. Maybe we're just bad. Paprika, Perfect Blue, Paranoia Agent, that guy. He died at a relatively, like in his 40s. Yeah, Nightness showed me Paprika and suggested Perfect Blue, and then a viewer suggested Paranoia Agent. This was actually a show by the same guy. You know, man, everything, I went and looked at that guy's entire career profile, and like, it's all just fire, dude. Straight fire. Yeah, Japanese guy. Well, no, for some reason I want to say he was like South American. Like, I don't actually think he was Japanese for some reason. Something inside me tells me that that's the case. Oh no, he was. So you know what it is? It was it's the guy who made No Game No Life, which is another show I love. He's South American. Despite making like very unique and crazy off the wall anime. No Game No Life, love it. I have it's like one of the only animes I have a shirt of, just because the shirt was it just says No Game No Life. It's not like, weeb waifus on my shirt or anything that I have to live with. It's presentable. Parasite I liked a lot. Claymore I liked a lot. Those aren't really mysteries, but... Yo, dude, so you have to... Yeah, no doubt. I enjoyed, like, the cerebral aspect of it. But I can really do without the whole... Oh, I'm naked! Oh my goodness! Like, that shit... That shit drives me insane. I can't stand it. That's why shows like Psychopaths, or Monster, or Ergo Proxy, Erased. Obviously, I'm huge into Ghost in the Shell. I've seen every different iteration of it imaginable. I even like the movie, the new one that came out. What's another big one like that? Akira, my favorite movie of all time. Like, those are serious from the beginning all the way through to the end. There's none of that weeb shit anywhere sprinkled into the middle. Oh, there's also a decent one I watched on... a decent Netflix original one that I watched that was kind of like detective cop-based mystery. I want to say it's like Killer B or Killer 13. I can't remember what they ended up calling him. Yeah, I have seen Devilman Crybaby. It's good. It's good. I liked it. My roommate just would not let me hear the end of it. That I needed to watch it. So I did. Yeah, or the classic. It's not a Jin. It's literally called Killer B or 13 or something. His name was 13, but I think the show was called Killer B. But I have seen a Jin. It was alright. I have seen Knights of Sidonia. Alright. Legend of the Seven Sins. That's what it's called. Seven Deadly Sins. Not bad. I like that. Trying to think of other Netflix originals I've seen. Yeah, the whole classic spiel of, oh, I fell over and knocked this girl over and my hand happened to fall on her boob and then I got slapped in the face. Like, that shit, how many times you gonna show me that, dude? I don't care. Got some real JT audio levels going on out there, Kappa. Yeah, yeah, I have to remember that Japan is a different culture, and that, like, to them, a 14-year-old is like an adult or whatever. But it's still, it's weird to me. What kind of low quality stream is this? I'm playing Parasite Eve, so the lowest of qualities. The age of majority, really? I was just memeing. I didn't actually care. You didn't have to turn it down. Wow, my phone doesn't recognize memeing as a voice to text. Age of consent is 13, but laws make reality make it seem like still, dude. 13? Are you kidding me? I couldn't make a decision on what I wanted to eat at Taco Bell at age 13, much less if I want anyone's wiener near me. That's, I mean, that's probably, you know, I've heard from people who go to Japan that they really undersell and emphasize the amount of sexual assault that goes on. That it's like that it's just a constant, non-stop ordeal. And I have to imagine, you know, having age of consent at the age of 13 probably does not lend itself too kindly to that. Age of consent laws in Japan are actually complicated? Really? Because I'm lying. Yeah, that's very quotable. That's gross. No doubt. No doubt. No doubt, my dude. Wow. Okay, that makes sense. Because here's a little story about me. I don't know if you guys knew this. But so I was in high school. And I was a senior, so I had just turned 18. And hooked up with a girl who was 16. Now, later that night, she went and got in a party. Or she went to and got arrested at a party. And, like, apparently had, like, drugs or something serious on her. It was, like, a serious case, right? Well, then she, in order to defend herself, claimed that, you know, it was, like, non-consensual or whatever. Oh, no, let me back up. This is what's important. So her boyfriend dropped her off at my house, which I didn't know. I had no idea that she was dating anybody. It was a friend of mine that I've known for a while. So we you know, hooked up. We hung out. Not a big deal. She went to this party with her boyfriend, who came and picked her back up. And then they went and got in trouble together. Now, then the police came to me about, like, even though she was consenting, she was underage. And I was like, are you serious? Like, I had nothing to do with that. Well, they found out later that, I was wondering why they were even, why was I called about this? Who cares? Like, what led to you guys worrying about this? Well, she says that she had unwanted sex that night. And they came at me like crazy. And I was like, oh my God, my life is ruined. I'm going to jail. I did nothing wrong, but, you know, it doesn't matter in situations like this. And they even had, like, a rape kit and all this stuff. And I was mortified, and, you know, it was a big deal. Well, it turns out that ex-boyfriend and her, in whatever drunken and drug-infused stupor they were in, it was about them. But they came to me thinking it was me. And I still was at risk, even though they sorted that out. It was never actually a thing for me. It was never something I had to worry about. That's just what led to them being like, oh yeah, you did this, and you're 18 and she's 16. Even if it was consensual regardless, it's still an issue because you're an adult. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, we're a year apart in high school. And eventually the charges were dropped or whatever by her. And it was just this big, long mess. But I ended up getting fucking furnishing alcohol to a minor because we each had a beer at my house. And that haunted me for a really long time because it was super hard to shake and it came up in all my background checks. I'm actually still paying court costs for that. Like today. Every month. And that was 7 years ago. Exactly. That was what I was like, well, I mean, I understand who they're trying to protect, and I agree with it to an extent. But in that case, like, what if a boyfriend and a girlfriend who's like, it's his 18th birthday, and they hook up, and then one thing leads to another, and there's a charge of some sort. Like, that's fucking whack. Like, there needs to be some clarification. You know, people are gonna be like, well, rape, you know, that's, you know, don't even talk about it, you know, that's clarification, how dare you. But like it is, and you're right, like it wasn't up to her. Parents were the source of the charge, and everybody who she happened to come across, no pun intended. God, that's so awful of me to say. But everybody who happened to be in, you know, she ran into that night was involved in the police investigation. I quickly got out of it and was like, yo, fuck this. But yeah, it was so whack, dude. I mean, it was so whack. Yeah, in Texas, that's how it is. Well, but the thing is, in Texas, 17. Yeah, 17. That's it. It's 17, I found out. 17 is the age for a legal consenting adult in Texas. And I was like, are you serious? Like, this is what we're gonna fucking fight over days? For something that, like, no one did any wrong and she wasn't even concerned. Like, she never even mentioned my name. It was never an issue for me. It was her mom who, you know, her baby couldn't have done so wrong, but she got arrested for, like, serious drug charges or something. I can't remember what actually took place, because as soon as they, it had nothing to do with me, I fucking, you better believe it bounced out. I was like, I don't want anything to do with this shit show, but kid you not, dude, it is, it's one of those things now where I'm like, I won't even consider dating a woman under the age of, like, 21. Yeah, that is crazy, Chrono. Oh, wow, that's so much ammo I just dodged. Exactly. And that's... So funny you mention it. When I do, like, my drug awareness speeches, or when I go and do my public speaking for, like, drug-based things, I talk to counselors and school employees and whatnot. That's one of the biggest things I say is, you know, we teach our teenagers, once we came to the terms with the fact that, like, we can't stop them from boning. Like, it's never gonna happen. So the best way to do it is to say, you know, like, don't. And if it happens, these are the ways to do it where you're at the lowest amount of risk or harm. And drugs need to be taught in that same way. Because it's like the scare tactics of DARE. You're gonna fucking die. Watch this episode of, what is that TV show? Intervention. And be terrified. Like, that's not how it works, and it doesn't help anybody. Yeah, exactly. boyfriend 17, girlfriend 16, and on top of that, you can get legit sex offender charges. Like, you have to register and shit. And that follows you around for the rest of your life. And that's one of those things, and, you know, for good reason, that people are judge first, ask questions, judge first, clarify second kind of thing. And, you know, I can understand that 100%. But it's just like, man, those things like, there was a kid who was like, got drunk and peed in a like a parking lot and got like an indecent exposure charge, had to register as a sex offender. And then one day somebody came to his house and like beat him up or murdered him or whatever because he was on the sex offender registry. And I can't remember, but it was like, I don't know if it was like on the registry it lists like if you're a child-based offender or what the situation is, but it's one of those things that's like, man, these are like damning, absolutely life-ending titles and labels to put on people, and sometimes, man, clarification is kind of important. And yeah, exactly. Boyfriend 17, girlfriend 16, they have to break up, basically, or never bang. Or at least don't let people find out about it. Which is so unrealistic, dude. Especially, you know, it happens younger and younger as the years go on. Now, I apologize if people are offended or I mean, I don't really, because, like, that's just weird shit happens in this chat. We talk about memes and tiptoeing in my Jordans, and then we're talking about the age of consent. It's just kind of what happens here. But, I'm not meaning to piss anybody off or hurt anybody's feelings. Yeah, Megan's Law. I have seen that one. I have seen that one. Ah, damn it. I didn't probably need that, but it is what it is. Quote one, man. Always there to remind people that I am a good guy at my core. Yeah, exactly, Dizzle. That's another one of those crazy things. Oh, dope. That is actually mad decent info right there, crazy. Thank you. No warble garble. He woke up and was like, fuck! And went back to sleep. My man. Thank you. Ah, dang it, I didn't need that. It's so instinctual, man. Some of it is stupid, but you know, it's like, the issue with it is that, like, sex offense is such an extreme, and like a lot of people are absolutely deserving of like that extreme title and then some because of the things they've done, and nobody is going to disagree with that. But there are people who get kind of lumped into it because of lack of clarification that do get, you know, their lives ruined because they peed at a high school football game and they're, you know, on the field as to taunt the enemy team or what have you, like ludicrous, stupid things people thought were funny. And it's a real, it's real. Yeah, and it's true. And I don't know if there is. I mean, you would have to think, right? You know, there is tiers, or there are ways for, like, legally for things to be considered different or looked at different ways for exactly what you just explained. Like, some guy peeing on the side of the road as opposed to, you know, something much more vile. maybe there is, but you know, when it comes to like a website that says red dot, you know, there's no story there, which, you know, most of the people I totally understand, and I'm not saying that it shouldn't be that way, but there's a lot of people on there that do deserve that red dot, and then some. But it always makes you wonder, you know? No, but you can get indecent exposure depending on like I know that you get indecent exposure. The example I was using for like, I read a story where there was some drunk, you know, 17-year-olds or whatever at a high school football game, and because they and to like taunt the enemy team at the end of the game, this dude like whipped out his junk and took a whiz, right? Which is all well and good fun, but because he did it at a school, he got like had to go on the sexual offenders registry, and it had the children asterisk or whatever. You beat the spider? Yeah, I did. I don't know what Crazy's pace was at this point or whatever. I'm not even going to bother looking. We're just going to keep mowing through this and see what time ends up like at the end. But it's crazy. I think back now, and I'm like, you know, how close was I to just being like, have my whole life fucking ruined if that case had like developed, you know, more steam or whatever than it did. Damn, I wish I wasn't out of Twizzlers. I do have a half a pack of Chips Ahoy though, so you already know what I'm gonna be doing tonight. Eating Vienna sausages and Chips Ahoy, fam. Red vines. Oh, how dare you! How dare you! Red vines. Red vines make me. Twizzlers though. Oh no, Katsu, no. No taste. I'm not gonna lie to you, the difference between Red Vines and Twizzlers to me is like, Red Vines are very soft, right? I don't like the softness of them. That's what irks me. The flavor, taste and all that, I don't mind at all. It sounds like American Dad or some shit. Sounds like an American Dad thing to say. I know they say that about like Dr. Pepper, or no, it's Mr. Pibb. Mr. Pibb. Ugh, I hate Swedish Fish. I hate Swedish Fish. I do not like Swedish Fish. I don't like most chocolates, especially dark chocolate. I feed all the dark chocolate to Nightness. How do you DDoS? My kid, she got Swedish Fish. Oh, you know what I fuck with heavy though? Is those gummies that taste, you know, and pretty much anything gummy. I love gummies. But the soda gummies. The gummies that taste like soda. Those hoes slap. Make sure we don't fuck up Chinatown. The Lamborghini of gummies. They're just, I don't know. Peach rings. I like peach rings. Lamborghini of gummies. Peach rings do go hard. The soda flavored gummies that are shaped like Coke bottles, those go hard. Obviously, gummy bears and gummy worms are tried and true, and you can almost never go wrong. Gummy lifesavers, I fuck with. John Mulaney, huh? I'm semi-familiar. My ex-wife's, my sister-in-law, basically. Ex-sister-in-law, whatever that is now. Huge John Mulaney fan. Yeah, pretty much any gummy candy I run a train on. No questions asked. Except for Swedish Fish. I don't consider those gummy, dude. They're very stiff. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, you know what I really love? Is the gummy food. Like the gummy hamburgers. So Nightness's mom goes to Italy every so often. And when she does, they have full-blown gummy pizzas, bro. I shit you not. Oh, damn it. Like, it's like the size of an actual pizza. And every different thing is gummy. And I can eat that whole pizza in like a day. It's disgusting. I mean, it's amazing, but like the health toll it probably takes is disgusting. Yeah, I shit you not. An entire pizza. All with like it's got gummy mushrooms and gummy this and like the bread and the oh dude, I'll have to find one. And they sell them at gas stations, bro. She always brings them back for me. She already knows. I love them. But like, you know, like the gummy Krabby Patties or the gummy burgers. Yeah, I fuck with those heavy. I could eat a whole mess of those, pounds of that shit in a sitting. No questions asked. Gushers, I don't mind Gushers. My issue with Gushers, and same thing with like fruit roll-ups, is that it's like I don't get enough. Like I gotta eat like 4 packs of Gushers to feel like I've you know, appeased my sweet demon that lives inside of me. It's true though, Bob. It's like I've never actually purchased or seen them available for sale. I've only just received them. Those gummy foods, gummy burgers, and things like that. I need to order like a 5-pound bag of that shit off Amazon. Let's see what our options are, shall we? Really? Giant gummy dildo? I'll do it. I'll do it for the memes. I'll eat that shit on stream. If it tastes like the Krabby Patties, I'll do it. If it's more bang for my buck, no pun intended. Why did I do that? Some habits, man, they die too hard. Yeah, you're right. Giant ones, I feel like they do something cheap to make them a lot bigger, because they're definitely not as tasty. I totally agree. Gummy pizza. See, these are not the same as the ones they have in Italy. These just like, they're like tiny pizzas. Nah, and this one's just, I'm talking about, this thing was full blown, deep dish. All gummies. Supreme style. An 8-pound black silicone dildo after I left my business. Dope. Yo, ooh, Arby's. Uber Eats? Oh god, it's even worse. Yeah, I've actually never met anybody that's like, yo, Arby's best restaurant ever. Funniest group chat of my life. Nice. Oh wow, that sucks. Uber Eats is pretty expensive. I mean it's not expensive, but it definitely adds a bit of cost to things that would otherwise cost not nearly as much. Like a $5 meal from McDonald's is like $8 or $9 off of Uber Eats. Like, nah, dude, I can drive. Like, I'm not that lazy. My laziness isn't. I'm not $4 worth of lazy for a fucking Big Mac. You're not worth a Big Mac. You see, I'm just not. I don't know. Arby's food. So Arby's, they had this thing at once that was called. Yo, I love curly fries. Jack in the Box, I'm not crazy about Jack in the Box, but you better believe if they're giving away curly fries, I'm getting curly fries. I go and buy them, but there's not enough of the curly fries aren't good enough for me to go to Jack in the Box and deal with all the other mediocrity as a result. I actually like In-N-Out's fries a lot. I'm really into like the really starchy kind of fries. Less salty. But what was I gonna say? Oh, so Arby's once, they had like this brisket thing they were advertising. They were like smoked for 13 hours or something like that. And I went and got it and was like, fuck it, I'm gonna try this bad boy. I'm from Texas, like we know brisket. And I got it and I was like, what was it, smoked in a dishwasher? It tasted like Dawn. It was terrible. Yo, Dairy Queen is some no fuck around place, dude. I feel like Dairy Queen doesn't get the credit it deserves. The jalapeno poppers go so hard. Fries, burgers, all that's pretty decent. Dawn is good for wildlife. It's not good for my taste buds, I'll tell you that much. I remember calling my wife at the time, my ex-wife now, because we both were like, there's no way that Arby's brisket is half as good as it is advertised to be. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. So I tried it, and I was sitting in the car eating it right outside Arby's. And And I remember calling her and was like, it's not. We were right. What is that? Fried yucca? Fried yucca? What the fuck does that mean? Is that like okra? Is that another word for okra? Are you guys meme? Are you guys making something up? Yucca. What the fuck is that? It's like a potato. Oh, dope. Starchier? Dude, I love starchier fries. I'll fuck with it then. That sounds dope. If you guys have a, there's a restaurant called Smash Burger. If any of you guys live near one, they have these things called smash fries, which have like basil and oregano and stuff like that on them, and they're some of the greatest fries on earth. So we'll take all 3 of those. Smash Burger is amazing. It is so good. Alright, we didn't get the encounter. That's good. So kind of like rutabagas, right? Aren't rutabagas or rutabagas? I don't know if there's an A at the beginning of that word. Aren't those like potatoes, except they're not? Yeah, oh, Smash Burger, that's because Smash Burger is not a, it's not fast food, right? Smash Burger is, you see, that's what I was gonna say. Five Guys and Smash Burger are in the same price or style, I would consider. I don't consider Five Guys to be anywhere nearly as good as Smash Burger. And in Texas, we have Twisted Root, which is so much better than any other burger place that it's actually kind of, you'll never go to any other place ever. You just don't. But it's not fast food. It's like, yeah, dude, Five Guys for how much it costs is just too bland. That's why every time I've gone, I've been like, well, and in Twisted Root here, they have elk, kangaroo, alligator, bison, like all these kinds of, if they're in season, like game, different burgers and things like that. Then they put like wok and eggs and like fried pickles and pretty much anything you can imagine on their burgers as well. They make their own root beer. Oh, dude, it's the greatest place. It's kind of like, it's super low key though. Like it's as far as I know, only in Texas and not even all the parts of Texas. We'll take that medicine for. But yeah, Smash Burger is way better than Five Guys in my opinion. I just think Five Guys is too bland to cost $15. Well, Smash Burger, I feel like even their chicken is really good. Nah, dude, I'll go to Freebirds before I go to Chick-fil-A in a fucking, or a Chipotle in the blink of an eye. I'd definitely choose Freebird over Chipotle, but I do like Chipotle. It's not that I dislike Chipotle at all. Chick-fil-A though, I'm just not crazy about chicken. Now, granted, if I had to choose a fast food chicken place, I'd absolutely choose Chick-fil-A. Their chicken sandwich is pretty decent. Yeah, Freebirds is so good. I worked at Freebirds when I was 16. And they have like cayenne tortillas and like carnitas and really, really good hot sauces. And I'm a big and a spicy kind of person. Their steak is inside skirt fajita steak. There's no way Chipotle, being once owned by McDonald's, uses inside skirt fajita steak. Yeah, exactly. The cayenne tortillas, some carnitas, some hot sauce. I actually really like cilantro, so I'll sprinkle a little cilantro on that bad boy. Some Spanish rice. Boy, I'm killing it. I need to go to Freebirds right fucking now. As soon as this stream is over, fam, we're going to Freebirds. I mean, not all of us, but I am. I'll post pics in my Discord. Oh shit, they might be closed. Can't remember what time they close. Oh, it sucks. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I want a burrito, and then at the end, it's a bowl because it's popping at the seams. Like my ex-girlfriends trying on their freshman high school jeans, you know? Just absolutely splitting at the seams in those bad boys. That's how I like my fucking Freebirds burritos. Yeah, and I'm actually like kind of salivating here like a freak. All I got is Chips Ahoy's and SpaghettiOs. Mix what? What are we mixing? SpaghettiOs and Chips Ahoy? Ugh. Hell nah. I hate the people that like, I don't like my food to touch at all. Oh, also, okay, so there is one more weird thing about me. Like one of my weird quirks or whatever, or, you know, oddities, is I have to eat my food. I commit to an order, right? So I can't, if I have a burger and fries, I eat the burger first, and I cannot eat a single fry until the burger is completely gone. And I work my way around the plate. Usually starting with the protein first, and then moving on to what I enjoy most out of what's left. And then just finishing out in a order of preference. Yeah, no, and I only eat everything one at a time, right? Popcorn, one piece at a time. Fries, one piece at a time. Like, I've had friends that will, like, grab a fistful of 9 fries and shove them in their mouth, and I'm like, holy shit, dude, you're giving me the heebie-jeebies. Yeah, the fries do get cold. You're depending on where I'm at, that's very true. Sometimes they do. Yeah, I've eaten Spam and SpaghettiOs and ravioli out of the can before. I don't prefer it that way, but I totally understand what you mean. Oh, fuck. Alright, we shouldn't need to menu anymore for the rest of the game as long as I don't pick anything up. It's so nasty. It is nasty. Or dry ramen. My roommate turned me onto that when I was younger. It's like you take ramen and you put it in a Tupperware and you just crush the shit out of it. Then you sprinkle in the seasoning pack, put a lid on it, and shake it. Oh yeah, shoestring fries. Sometimes I do step it up to two at a time. So when I go to Freddy's, my ex-wife and her mom used to make fun of me because that was like one of their favorite places to eat. And they have shoestring fries, and I sit there like a madman. I'm like, one at a time. And they'd be like, whoa, chill out, dude. You look insane. They have like a jalapeno Spam now. And it goes so hard. It goes so hard. It's so good. Now, granted, you have to usually... It's really hard to eat Spam by itself. Maybe just as I've gotten older. But, like, put it with some rice or something, and it's way good. It's just that you can actually taste how high salt that is, and it really dries your mouth up and stuff. It's Oh, dude. Dry ramen is good, but kettle cooked jalapeno and kettle cooked peppercini and Lay's dill pickle chips. Like, if I got any of those in front of me, I'm killing that entire bag if it gets opened all at once. There's 100% I have no self-control when it comes to those types specifically. Only the Lay's dill pickle, though. All the other dill pickle chips suck dick. But kettle-cooked chips, dude. Jalapeno, peppercini. I've even had some, like, ghost pepper ones, dude. That gets me going. Oh, yeah. Spam with a layer of crust on it. Boy! Yeah. So I know that in Hawaii, Spam is treated entirely differently than it is for the rest of the world. Oh yeah, kettle jalapeno. So you understand then? Yeah, in Hawaii, Spam is like a delicacy. It's like a real thing, dude. In Hawaii, Spam is very, very common. Yeah, I like to put it on just a side of white rice, dude. Maybe even get like some egg in there. Boy, you're basically a white Asian person at that point. You're basically a Netflix adaptation of an actual Asian meal. Fuck. Oh yeah, dude. They say that like drinking like a single shot of pickle juice is like your daily sodium intake for the entire day. And I could drink a whole glass of pickle. I could drink a whole bottle of pickle. God, that hurt. I can drink a whole bottle of pickle juice, no doubt. Like, if you have drained the entire glass jar of pickles and there's no more in there, I'll drink that whole fucking thing right, like, on the spot. I love pickle juice. But it's apparently super bad for you. All the good things are. Yeah, Spam is coming in all kinds of crazy different styles these days. So is, Vienna sausages. Ever had pickleback shots? Yeah, I have. Back in my drinking days, I definitely did a pickleback. I like pickle juice, but hate vinegar. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. That is really odd. I love vinegar. Vinegar chips, vinegar every... Oh, man, I'm serious about it. I could do it. Pickles, though. Dude, pickle... Like, just the thought of pickles makes my mouth water. Why did I pick those up? I didn't need to. Damn it. Like, man, I could eat... If you cut up some pickles into hamburger slices, even baby dills, I can eat so many of those, man. A whole jar of hamburger or baby dill pickles. All at once, dude. I love pickles. I'm actually, like, my mouth's watering just already talking about it. Oh, we got the M8000. Why not? Vinegar on fresh fries. Wow. So there's a sub shop, and they make the best cold sandwiches. It's called Jersey Mike's. I don't know how common they are. But Jersey Mike's puts like a vinegar and oil mixture onto their subs, and dude, it is fire. It is so good. It makes like your standard cold cut sub, it like really takes it to the next level. Good practice, give me the MAK, yeah, no doubt. Sweet, we didn't get any of these. Jersey Mike's, yeah, so it is in other states then, besides Texas? That's good. I like it a lot. I consider Jersey Mike's the best place to get a cold sub, and Potbelly's the best place to get a hot sub. Like, fuck that Subway and Witch, and what's that other one that's, you know, he, like, was naked with a shark or whatever, that people like so much. I can't think of the name. was that place called? Jimmy John's. That's what it's called. Jimmy John's. Like, Jimmy John's is nothing compared to Jersey Mike's or Potbelly's. They're in other states for sure. Cool. Yeah, so that it depends. I have to be in a mood for hot subs. Cold subs, though, yeah, I can do whenever. I can do whenever, especially if you get Jersey Mike's to go, and they pour all that vinegar and oil, whatever their mixture. It's called Mike's Way, and they wrap it really tight and they put it in a bag, take it to go. By the time you get home, it's like soaked in, nice and decent into the actual bread. What? Shit bangs. What's the other Quiznos-esque sandwich shop? There's one that's like the same quality and same style. I've never heard of Sub in a Tub. I have been to Firehouse. It's pretty good, but I still like Potbelly's and Jersey Mike's. They're about the same level. Firehouse is probably a higher quality than most places, so. Blimpies, no. No, we had one in Shirts where I used to live. Let me think. Shirts sandwich.
Listings for sandwich around
Oh.
Shirts. Here they are.
Schlotsky's. That's what it's called. I don't fuck with Schlotsky's. No, sir. Yeah, I don't even know what Blimpies is. I'll tell you one thing that we really do miss out on, because I did live in the north for a good portion of my life. White Castles and Crystals. Now, I think Crystal went out of business because it started to expand in the south, and we had a Crystal go in where I lived in San Antonio, and it went out of business almost immediately, like in a span of just a couple months. But though, dude, White Castle and those kind of small burgers, those sliders, as they're... You know, White Castle actually created the term slider that everybody uses now. Fun fact. I think that's true. That's what I was told by my dad. But I remember being very, very young, and my dad taking me to White Castle, and they were advertised as sliders. See, you know, and it is overrated, but it's a different type of burger. It really is. You can just kill a whole one in one bite. You know, I could eat like 40 of those bad boys. And the ones that you get in the frozen aisle, they're not the same. Yo, White Castle bangs. Y'all crazy, dude. To each their own. I can understand you guys don't want to eat absolute filth. That's fine. Not much. It's like $1.18 or something like that. You basically get you used to be able to get 5, or maybe it was 3 burgers, 4 burgers, something like that. A few burgers, a drink, and some and some fries, all for $5. It was like an incredible deal. I could slam White Castle burgers till I pass out. Hell yeah! White Castle was like the god of drunk food. Like in the north, we have Whataburger down here in Texas, and it's considered the drunk food. But White Castle was like that in the north, where it's like, if you went into White Castle after 10 o'clock, it was only shit-faced people. It kind of works the same at like a Denny's or an IHOP post to midnight, you know? White Castle's good, dude. I feel like a lot of White Castle is super hyped now, though, and that people might go there and not enjoy it as much as, you know, they were led to believe because it has, like, commercial hype around it. But I enjoyed it a lot. No, I'm not going to say it's the greatest burger place on earth. It's different, and it's good. Did it deserve its own movie? Probably not. Dude, yeah, Denny's, IHOP, like those breakfast places, everybody gets shit-faced and goes to those. In Texas, Whataburger is drunk town USA, bro. If you go into a Whataburger past 10:30 here in Texas, it's only people who are shit-faced, and they're eating like this. Straight passing out mid-bite. I don't know why cops don't just sit outside of Whataburger. They could... Sometimes, though, cops go and eat at Whataburger around the drunk people because it's the middle of the night and they're on duty. Yeah, fuck Waffle House, dude. Waffle House is for poor people. Dude, it's like... Waffle House doesn't do anything special. I can make pancakes and I can make all the same shit they make at Waffle House in my own house. I go to IHOP for crepes and things that I don't have the skill level to mimic. But at Waffle House, it's like, what do you guys got that I don't have in my fucking cupboard right now? Dude, it's, oh my god, Waffle House. You know, I don't mind it. If somebody takes me there, I'll eat Waffle House. I can find something to eat at every breakfast place on the face of the earth because it's breakfast, right? It's so general. But like, if I had to choose between IHOP's crepes or going to Waffle House's anything, I'm going IHOP. But the difference is, and I found this out, the difference is that Waffle House people are into the big, you know, the breakfast meats, the sausages and bacons and like a big ass, you know, breakfast sandwich and things like that. Whereas I'm on the sweet side. I like the pancakes, I like the waffles, I like the crepes and things like that. And I feel like there's a pretty big distinction. Like people who are real into like the signature, you know, ham and eggs and sausage and bacon and all that stuff, I feel like they tend to go Waffle House way more. And then the pancakes, waffles, sweeter side of breakfast people end up at the IHOPs and Denny's and whatnot. And I'm just not into like breakfast meats. I want some crepes, bro. I'm talking, I get the crepes with like cream cheese dressing and strawberries, and they do have Cracker Barrel. They do. It's that's for old people. Cracker Barrel is like definition old people. It's like retirement in a restaurant. That being said, they have some good ass food. But I go there and I'm like, you guys are selling wooden rocking chairs on the porch, and I gotta walk through an entire fucking gift shop just to go sit down and so I can play the triangle game with the pegs in it, where it's like, see if you can get the last peg, you know, or whatever. See if you can get all the pegs out of the board by jumping over other pegs. That game is on the table of every fucking Cracker Barrel. And I gotta walk past 9 Woolly Willies just to get to my seat. But Cracker Barrel does have really good chicken and dumplings. You know the triangle game I'm talking about? It's everywhere, dude. It's like a triangle. And you just jump over one peg and you take it out. And you gotta whittle yourself down to just one remaining peg. And there's like a method to it. It's basically like a Rubik's Cube for like old ass white people. That was like the first iteration of Rubik's Cube style things. Oh, Cracker Barrel. My favorite part about Cracker Barrel is like everybody's ranked that works there. Like based on like your tenure with the company. Based on your your tenure with the company, you'll have like stars. And it's like, oh, that's a 5-star waitress. And then like some lady will come over here. I'm like, why did we get the 1-star peasant? God damn it. You're not worth my time. Now fetch me some rolls. How does Parasite Eve always turn into food discussion, dude? Why is it only this game? Yeah, the triangle game. When somebody says Cracker Barrel, it's the first thing that comes to my mind. Is I gotta look up the solution on Google right now, so when I get there, I'm prepared. People goo makes me hungry. Ooh, kinky. Speaking of kinky, somebody keeps sending me Snapchats. I'm really not interested. I love Cracker Barrel. So I've actually, the one place I've never been to is Golden Corral. And I've heard that that's like, somebody told me once in chat, they likened it to a feeding trough. And I shed tears and laughter. Because that's the similar things that I've heard. And when put like that, it about killed me. I was dying. I wish I had the highlight from that stream, but it was so long ago. I'm sure I don't have the VOD anymore. He was like, there's these ropes, and when they put the buffet out, you all stand behind the ropes, and then when it's ready, they move the rope. And it's the feeding trough. All the animals just bust out of their cage and go line up and just eat out of the trough. Oh man, it's so funny to me. Hours old Waffle House. See, I've seen like the things online where it's like Golden Corral leaves their cooked food at the end of the day like out by the dumpsters. You remember that whole ordeal that was on the internet for a while? I've been to one good buffet. There was a place called the Emperor's Walk, I think is what it was called. And it was like an Asian buffet, and it was pretty good. There's a lot of things that are of Asian food variety that it's like... No, it definitely couldn't be sub 2 hours because of the... I mean, honestly, there's not a whole lot of time save in this game. Maybe sub 220 is possible. Yeah, Asian buffets are the best. There's just not a whole lot of Asian food that's presented at a buffet that can, like, be fucked up, you know? Like rice, you know, you can't screw up rice. And as long as it stays warm, it's pretty much going to taste the same. You're not going to get, you know, Japan quality rice. If you guys ever go to Salt Lake City, Utah, go to the all-you-can-eat sushi place. 25 bucks gets you as many pieces of sushi, as many rolls as you can eat, handmade, to order, in front of you, in front of your own damn eyes. And it is so good. I was under the impression I'm like $25, sushi buffet, it's gonna be garbage. But dude, it was amazing. And me and my roommates ate hundreds of dollars of sushi. I went twice. Once by myself, once when my roommates came to RPG Limit Break to visit and catch my run. Fun fact, you can actually see Nightness and my other roommate in the back VOD of my RPG Limit Break run if you care, but it was so good. I will absolutely, that'll be my first stop if I go back to RPG Limit Break. Mongolian barbecue place? I've never had Mongolian barbecue, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. Fuck. Screwed up a little bit there. Go ahead and get started. That's so funny. Pizza and fried chicken and mac and cheese at an Asian buffet. That's so true, though. That's so true. You can measure the level of Asian based on how general their buffet is. Can leave work early, comma, go in late, comma, or take an extended lunch break. It's not really gonna work. They're all bitching about how many hours I'm at. I'm always at this many hours. Stop breaking shit. Frogs or chicken feet? If you go into an Asian place and it doesn't have a koi pond, just don't even fucking bother. Every Asian buffet I've ever been to, even if it's like trash tier Asian food, they at least have a koi. Or you know what's a better one? Is those cats that wave nonstop. If they don't have at least one of those, then fuck them. Chinese Mexican? I've never even heard of that or considered that as a combination. That's weird. I mean, it sounds interesting, but it sounds weird. Oh man, tacos and fried rice? That does sound really good. In Texas, though, especially where I'm at, the San Antonio area, Dallas not so much, but San Antonio, especially, being so close to, you know, the south side of Texas and everything, really, really high Mexican population. Dude, it is. We get some of the tacos, like straight up. There's a place called Taquerias, where it's basically like a Mexican butcher shop. They cook the meat it's super fresh meat, just fucking filled with just, it's so bad for you. But they'll sell you like a pound of barbacoa, some handmade flour or some handmade corn tortillas, usually handmade salsa. You get one of those big Spanish Mexican Cokes, and bro, it's over. And you can get all that for like $10, and like 2 or 3 people can eat that. And it's straight up, like, you gotta be able to speak Spanish or point really well. That's the only way you're ordering food at these places. That's how you know you're at a good place. Also, here in Dallas, in the Dallas area, my friend Neurotic, who occasionally watches the stream, who is the one who lent me his sister's PSP, so shouts to Neurotic. He turned me on to an amazing banh mi place on like there's like a Asia town part around near here where it's like a good few blocks. It's like, you know, all of their shop signs are in hieroglyphics. That's how you know. He's got like a Korean, an H Mart, which is like a Korean supermarket. And dude, it is so good. This banh mi place is so good. I don't know, actually, if we use Maida's gun. I don't know. Well, I mean, we have max ATB, so you might as well. Yeah, I have had pho. I'm not as crazy about noodles, but banh mi is so good because it's like a sandwich, right? Like, I like the sandwich. Yet auto equips Maida's gun, and I imagine it's probably still not really a time loss to, if it is slower, to just shoot it. Because we have that max ATB at 99, so I imagine even Maida's gun is gonna fire super fucking fast. Oh, that's true, that's true. Well, I don't know, because even in the second phase, even guns that aren't Maida's guns, I believe, like if you switch from Maida's gun in the second phase, his damage is uncapped again. I mean, it's not going to do 999, but it does uncap damage. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Like if I switched guns and fired at the gun I have now, I think it would do more than 2 damage. I could be wrong. Oh yeah, that is slow. Even with max ATB. Oh my god! Look how much damage it does. Oh, I bet he has way more HP in this version. I guess not. I could be wrong though, Kingfisher. I'm not positive on that at all. Why did it do so much damage? That's crazy. I don't know what our pace is compared to Crazy Awesomes. So we'll find out. Why are we talking about Parasite Eve during the food and sexual assault stream? God forbid Primus or somebody actually watch every minute of this. I'm waiting. I'm not getting greedy with it. I'm getting greedy with this one. I know this screen. I know all this screen, so I should trust myself a little bit more, but even when you know, sometimes you fuck up. Yo, but talk about how clean it was blindfolded. So, I found out when I went back through and watched some of my older VODs that if you just hold right after you hit the console, you'll run into that, to the wall, and then as soon as you hit that wall, you move down. So, in the blindfolded, I was able to mimic that. You'll hit this pipe right here. I'll show you. You hit that, and you just come right down. Or maybe not. Maybe not as good, but it's what it looked like I did in my VOD, so that's what I based it off of in the blindfolded run. And it seemed to go really, really well compared to the first one, that's for sure. Yeah, that was a lot, Kingfisher. That was a ton of damage. I don't know why it was like... I mean, it's Meta's gun, so our gun stats don't really matter. But it did shit ton of damage, that's for sure. We do have increased crit, which is on our armor. So maybe that had something to do with it? Or increased attack or something like that. Something on our vest has us doing extra damage. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I believe that is... Just doing the math really quick. I'm pretty sure that's the Parasite Eve suite, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's been done. Let's go. Let's have a look, shall we? I exited the boat at like what, 207.45, 207.48, something like that. Oh yeah, never mind. It by quite a bit, 2 or 3 minutes. It looks like. Two minutes about, maybe a little less than 2 minutes. That's the Parasite Eve suite, guys. All three for the first time ever. Somebody holds all 3 world records in Parasite Eve. Wow. All the work that went into this. All of Crazy Awesome's work that went into this.
Nut. Nut. Nut.
Thank you guys for nutting. Now Primus gets to sit through 2 VODs today, man. Your mom lets you have 3 world records? She damn right.
Nut.
I can't wait to be mashing. Or to not be mashing. Yeah, no, Crazy is... Shoutouts to... I want to make this perfectly clear. Crazy Awesome is a hilarious guy. Great dude. He streams, so go follow him. He put up with 17 entire runs of this to get the save file to where it is, just so that he could make it publicly available on the website for everybody to have access to without having to do the work. So, I cannot, there is no understating that. I wouldn't have even considered doing this had he not made that available to me. Great dude. He started out doing Game Boy speedruns. Yeah, 17 runs and the entire Chrysler building. So easily, if each run is 3.5+ hours, 3.5 hours, probably more. And the Chrysler Building is fucking tons of hours. Tons. Because you got to go into every room and open every chest. Yeah, probably 80 hours of work. And he just made it publicly available for everybody. 2 different versions. So that you have the perfect save that's prepared for this run and the perfect save prepared for the new game Chrysler Building. Just tons of work, man. Tons of work he did. And out of the kindness and generosity of his own heart, shared it. So, you know, he is largely to thank. He did more work than I did tonight, I promise. He gets an honorable mention in the 2 runs that I'm using his save file on for sure. I'm so ready to be done mashing. This is so much more mash heavy than any percent, dude. Because there's no breaks. You just kill everything so fast, it's right back to mashing. Ben would not enjoy this. Oh, I don't have to mash right here. Thank God. As soon as the cuts or the credits start, I can be free. And we finished before midnight, man. It's crazy when you run games that aren't that long. For a change, that you can like start at 7:15, 7:30, and finish multiple runs before midnight. That's insane. Which is good because I was hella late to work. My ass stayed up way too late last night. But I just pretend, I'm like, because I'm always in overtime, when I show up late, they're like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, sorry, I came in late to balance out my overtime hours. And they're always like, oh yeah, dude, good idea. And I'm like, This is New Game Plus, yeah. And at the completion of this run, we have achieved the sweep of every Parasite Eve world record, just in the nick of time for the Parasite Eve podcast. Yeah, it does seem like that's what the category is called on speedrun.com too, so I agree. It does look weird. That idea will work until they watch the stream. Yeah, nobody I work with will ever know that I stream. I'll make that 100% clear. but I'm always like, yeah, you know, I came in at 10 instead of 9 today because one day I went in at like noon. And I showed up and they didn't even ask. They always they're like, oh yeah, he did it so that he didn't have to be in overtime. He's helping us out. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. Oh, that's it, guys. We're done. No more mashing. Thank goodness. No, I don't know, man. I find that most people don't know what Parasite Eve is. I did a comedy set at for probably 300 plus people at an anime convention once. And part of my jokes is about, one of the bits is about speedrunning. And in the crowd, somebody was like, you know, I talk about speedrunning. I was like, it's basically when you come to terms with the fact that you're going to die alone and no one will love you. And somebody in the back was like, what do you speedrun? And I was like, well, you know, I'm probably most known for Parasite Eve. And like 5 people of this crowd of 300 were like, yeah! And I was like, that seems about right. GG's, thank you so much for the GG's. Now we get to sit through the amazing credits that we've all grown so fond of. $15+ out. Oh, dude, I totally understand. My last job, there was times when I would close, get home at 4, and I had to be back there at 8:30, 9, and I was like, you guys, fuck you guys. That place worked me to the bone for a lot less money than I get now. I love my new job. I've been there for, months now, but communicating. So that's what I tell people, right? Like, if I can achieve the day, if I can go in and do my job and literally not get spoken to a single time, it's perfectly fine with me. Depends, though. Like, some days are different than others on, like, what I have to do and, like, if I have to. Like, today I soldered for, like, 3 hours in my office. It was so nice. I was jamming some tunes, vaping up a storm, doing some solders. Soldering some stuff, and then when I put it all together at the end, it didn't work anyways, but now I know that it doesn't work and that the problem is actually the board. But still, not time wasted, because I enjoyed it and got paid for it. So what are you gonna do? Yeah, I did end up deciding to sue my old job. Apparently it's a much lengthier process than initially anticipated, because it involved other people, so they're having to be not interviewed, but they're having to, like, play a role in it. And because they denied me for unemployment, it's turned into, like, an actual unemployment issue as well. And it turns out that they weren't actually paying me as much as they were contracted to pay me. Oh, did my webcam die? Oh, there we go. Did my stream just die? I went to 0 bit rate. I'll be pissed. Yeah, they denied me unemployment. And because of that, it all of a sudden is like a... Do you think it got split? Do you think it split my VOD up? Because that would be a bitch. I didn't get the notification. Yeah, and the splice in the credits. I didn't get the notification, so hopefully it didn't invalidate my run. But yeah, they denied me for unemployment, and it turns out my lawyer found out that they weren't actually paying me as much as they should have been paid. It's like I was a certain amount of money, and they had, when I had approached them about it, they, based it on taxes and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, and I never really looked into it because it was small. But obviously it's huge because they went against contract knowingly. On top of the unemployment, on top of the wrongful termination, on top of all these other things. And it's crazy because, like, I was like, man, is that really what that equates to, each paycheck? And now going to my other job, which is a pay rate increase, but, like, not as high as it looks like it is, because I was used to being paid less than what I was told I was being paid. So I was like, holy shit, I was king for a day. Now I'm kind of used to it, but yeah, dude, my last job, fuck them. They sucked. And especially all the things I did. I died at that place for over a year. For them to treat me like shit. Oh, they will absolutely... My lawyer told me they're going to settle so fast, it's going to be ridiculous. But corporate, the heads of the top who really liked me, they didn't even know I had been let go. And they didn't know that I had been let go in that fashion. So they were, when we went to them about it, they apparently were like, what are you talking about? And now it's coming down on, like, the person who was overseeing my district and me specifically. So it's taking a long time because of all that, which is annoying, but, it'll get done for sure. Just like I paid for, when that guy wrecked into my car, I had to pay the entire total to get my car out because the insurance wasn't assuming fault for it. So when that paycheck gets reimbursed to me, and when the court settlement comes through, I'm gonna be rich for a day and a half. I'm sorry, Primus. I'm sorry. One last one, I promise. Unless Crazy beats my Chrysler tomorrow, in which case maybe another one. But I promise, I'm done for a while. It's all, yeah, this VOD is almost entirely sexual assault and food talk. Big perp, yeah, dude. Anytime I wear black, I wear the purple jacket. Anytime I wear green or something like that, I wear the red one. If it's like a weird kind of off color, I'll wear the gray one. I have a maroon one that I almost never wear just because it doesn't really go with anything. But yeah, black and purple, always. And I also do have my black sweater, in which case I won't wear a jacket. I love my black sweater. There's a method to the madness, my friends. Who would have known? Yeah, this jacket is my go-to. I had it at RPG Limit Break. I wore my black sweater during my Ni no Kuni run at Limit Break. But I had this hoodie with me right behind where I was sitting. So at the very end of the VOD, if you skip to the very end, you can see it on the couch. I just was like, I was worried it would be cold, and then it was not cold at all because the weather took a drastic turn like the day before my run. So, but I did get these banging ass sweatpants in Utah at the Walmart. One of the greatest investments of my life. Oh man, it has been a pleasure, my friends. Thank you so much for sitting through 2 days worth of Parasite Eve with me. Yes, he did, and I knew that was gonna happen. I was actually messaging him as he was doing it. We were messaging back and forth because he had gone through the New Game Plus again to set up the correct save file, and so he got 30 seconds of menuing that he saved by just setting it up correctly. And then I was like, all right, and then he sent me that file, and I was like, all right, there you go ahead. And then I beat it in a run. No, dude, I don't care when they get approved. Damn it, I forgot about that. So there you go, guys. A little over, almost 2 minutes, not quite 2 minutes. That is it. Magic Freak, what's going on, man? Apparition, I'm sorry that you missed it.